Okay. All right, is that your sheet right there? All right, I'll use this to read it with. Okay. All right, we got everybody? Everybody here, see what we're doing? Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk through this one first. Now, we're not going to make probably the whole thing before dinner. So wherever we stop, we'll pick it up after the dinner break. After that, y'all are on your own doing this, okay? So if you got questions about anything, this is the time to ask right here, okay? All right. So first thing we got to do here is pull out the refrigerant that's in the system. This is called doing a recovery. Now, I have no idea what's in this unit right now as far as refrigerant goes, how much. There's a label plate that's supposed to be right here that's missing, okay? Should tell you how many pounds of refrigerant. I believe it's 4 pounds on this right there, okay? 4 pounds, 11 ounces? Okay, there you go, 4 pounds, 11 ounces. At the end of the night, when we are done, if anybody pulls any panel covers off anything, okay, put them back on at the end of the night. Do not leave stuff lying out around like that. Quickest way I know to get fired is leave your customer's equipment in bad condition like that. They get upset, and so would I, okay? All right, so make sure you put the panels back on. All right, so let's go ahead and get ready to do this. Let me get my spectacles on so I can see something. If you have any questions while we're going through this, make sure you fire up a flare, yeah? Okay, are you ready? The lovely Carol Merrill here will assist us today with the.
Man, why I got
remember
Carol
that show?
Merrill?
Oh, you remember that show? Okay.
I'm not that old.
Yeah, bullshit. Okay.
What's a Carol Merrill?
Yeah, they don't know what I'm talking
No,
about.
they don't know.
I was born in 1990.
Okay, now remember yesterday I told you about the empty weight of the bottle, right? Called the tera weight.
Right.
That's one stamped TW on the side of the bottle, right? The WC number is the water capacity. That tells you the total amount of refrigerant that bottle can hold, okay? The total amount of liquid refrigerant it can hold. So, we had a problem this morning with 2 of the R22 units. We had small bottles like this. They only had about room for a half a pound of refrigerant. They were already so full, so we couldn't use them. That's why we're using that big World Trade Center looking building over there, okay, bottle, all right? It's the only one we got room for R22. The others, we're okay, all right? But be aware of that. This could be a problem. You get out there, and maybe whoever used this cylinder before you filled it up, and there's no room to put refrigerant. If I got to pull 4 pounds out of this, I need 4 pounds worth of room in that bottle. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so be aware. That's why you look at the tera weight, and also be aware of what that water content number means too. Okay, everybody good with that?
Yeah.
Okay, you ready to do this? Let's get to it, man. All right. First of all, step number 1. Okay, to avoid mixing up refrigerants, it's very important. Gauge set and recovery machine should read 0. Now that's the real world. Tonight I've already told you about the gauges having pressure on them. So if you have a problem with a gauge set, like we did this morning, we had one that was leaking off the valve stem. We had to get a different gauge set. Go to the tool crib, make sure it's one that has the same kind of refrigerant in it that the system does that you're working with it, if it has pressure on it, okay? All right. So, what are we reading? Do we have pressure on these, by the way?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, cool. And the recovery machine. Let's slide this over here, recovery machine. We're going to use the R22 scale.
Okay. Here's my question, Gary.
Okay.
This has pressure already on it. How do we know what's in that?
That's a good question. We don't. So let's go ahead and vent that right there. Open those.
Weather up there. Like tropical.
Some of those gauges stick, by the way. Are they moving at all?
No.
Okay, probably just stuck there. Where are they at? Mid-scale or what?
200.
Well, if there's anything in there, that should come out right there.
Thank you. Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah, that might
Take those off.
Yeah, that might be a good
I
idea.
thought you removed them already. Okay, one thing I want to tell you about these brass caps, okay? When you all take these brass caps off, do not leave them sitting on the platform or up here like this. If you have an empty post on something, you take this brass cap and screw it on. For example, right now, on the gauge set here, once we hook these hoses up to the system, we'll have 3 empty posts. You can screw the caps onto the post right there so that you don't lose them, okay? Does everybody understand? Yeah. Okay, the recovery unit has posts, you can screw them on. The vacuum pump has a post, you can screw it on. Okay, Micron gauge has a pump, you can screw it on. etc., etc. What I don't want to see is these things sitting around loose, because that's how they disappear. Okay. There you go. It's empty now. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So, that closed right now.
Smells like art class.
Closed down.
Okay, step 2, ensure hand wheels on gauge set are closed. Remember, lefty loosey, righty tighty, right?
Right.
Do not over tighten them. You will damage the valve brass stems, okay? Okay, attach blue hose to low side service port. Which one's the low side?
It's gonna be the one on the left.
The left,
Read it.
there's no such thing. I'm talking about the line.
Big line.
Bigger line.
The big line, right? Okay, that's the low side, the big line.
Big line.
Now also, you remember we talked yesterday a little bit about these low loss fittings? If you look at this gauge set right here, you see that extended neck on that one right there? How much longer that is than the standard connection like this right here? See how much longer that one is? Okay, that is the one you cannot purge, because this is designed to prevent leaks. This one here, when you screw it on or off, it will leak refrigerant, okay? These extended necks back here has a longer neck like this than the standard ones. You can tell by looking at it, okay? So if you got to purge something, you got to make sure that you put the shorter neck one on that connection. If you put this one on there, you're not going to be able to purge it, because it won't allow gas to escape, okay?
Rebuildable too, right?
Yes. Okay, so we got the hoses hooked up.
You just said the low side.
Okay, red side to the high side, okay? Now when you're making these connections, make sure they're nice and firm, okay? You don't need to over tighten them, but make sure that they are snug. Maybe a little bit past hand tight would be a good piece of advice. Okay, you see those empty posts?
Yep.
Okay, take the yellow hose now, step 3. Attach yellow service hose to the recovery unit inlet. That's the blue valve down here. Okay, now you just have to get it lined up, that's all.
What's up?
The other hose? Okay, you got a loose cap down there, right?
Yep.
Okay. We need a place to put that when we get a shot. For now,
You can put it on this.
screw it on there. So it doesn't disappear. Be amazed how quickly these things disappear. Okay, where are we at here? Step 4. Attach extra hose from the recovery machine outlet, that's the red one, to the vapor side of the recovery cylinder. Now remember, there's a highlight here. It says attach low loss fitting end to the machine, not the cylinder, because we've got to be able to purge at the cylinder there. Okay?
It's a big one, right?
The shorter one is the regular fitting. The longer one is the low loss fitting. Okay, you have it connected down there?
Yep.
Okay, that goes to the vapor side of the recovery cylinder. Now, check these handles. Make sure that they are what you think they are. Yeah, because they lie to you sometimes. Okay, everything's connected, yes?
Everything's connected.
Okay, open both hand wheels on gauge set. Open inlet and outlet of recovery machine. Now, purge at the recovery cylinder. You do this before you open that valve there to the tank. That's enough. Once you get a little squirt like that, that's purge right there, okay? You don't need to sit there and watch all of it come flying out. That's not the idea. Okay, turn your digital, let's get the digital scale over there. You're gonna need that over there for the bottle.
Check your battery. That was a lot of stuff.
Let's bring a whole box over there, dude.
Okay.
He's got the 100 man now.
Back up, give him a little room here. Okay, turn the scale on first. No, turn the scale on. Let's make sure it works. You gotta turn it on. Hold it. There you go. Coming on?
Yeah.
Okay. Place the cylinder on the scale. Okay. Now, look at the weight on that.
15.86.
Okay, you should write that down.
Okay.
That's for future reference.
Okay.
Okay, hit the 0 button on the scale.
Boom.
Okay, we got 0?
0.
Okay. Now at this point, we're basically ready to kick this pump up. Pump on, we're going to start sucking refrigerant out, and you should see that number scale start going up. Now, again, I don't know what's in this system. This morning when they got done, one of these, they didn't put it back in yet. I don't know if it was this one or one of those. We'll find out here in a few minutes, okay? All right, so open the recovery cylinder. Turn on the recovery unit. You start seeing refrigerant come in here now. Now, once we reach 10 inches on the gauge in the negative direction right here, 10 inches, okay? That means that we've gone about as far as we're going to go with pulling it out. We don't want to pull it into a vacuum, but that's enough of a suction where we should be able to get all that refrigerant that's in there to vaporize and come into the recovery bottle right there, okay? Coming down?
Yep.
Yeah. When it gets to 10 inches in the negative, right, we'll go ahead and cut this thing off, okay? We'll close both the manifold gauge valves and turn the pump off. Meanwhile, watch the scale and see what's going in. Any questions, anybody, so far? Pretty straightforward if we follow up step by step, yeah?
Pretty good how you wrote it out.
Huh?
Pretty good how you wrote it out.
Yeah, we went through this a couple times just to make it easy for somebody who's never done this before, you know what I mean? The only thing we're not going to do on this talks about turning the unit on. We're not going to do that tonight. We're going to dead stick it, okay? Let's see about turning them on tomorrow.
He said dead
stick
stick it.
Especially if you have no idea what kind of connection this is. I don't want to spend an hour troubleshooting. Coming down good? Oh yeah. How much you got in there so far?
We're at pound, 0.44, and rising.
Any questions, anybody?
What's
Any
happening?
questions back there? Okay. Hell, I don't let you get here and teach us. I don't even know all that equipment. Yeah, right. Yeah, there you go. That's what you got. That's what you got him for, right? There you go.
All right. So, what's actually happening, Gary?
We're sucking refrigerant out of the unit and putting in the recovery unit, in the recovery bottle.
That's coming from the refrigerant in there.
Yep.
Yes.
We are literally pulling it out of the system,
Pulling it out of
putting
the
it in the
atmosphere.
bottle, which we're going to use as a temporary storage container. That way we can do whatever repairs we have to do to this thing. Compressor, whatever it is we're working on, okay?
Dig.
We're not going to chop the line and blow the gas to the atmosphere, right?
No, we're not.
Right?
That's illegal.
We are not going to do that because it's
Right.
illegal.
Right.
Since
1992,
1992,
yeah.
July 1st.
And it's bad for the environment, right?
Right. And I want to breathe in 50 years from now if I'm still alive.
Well, yeah, exactly. Plus, you know, the other thing that I don't get is when people do that, this refrigerant costs money today. It's like taking your wallet and lighting it on fire if you got money in there. Why are you doing that? You know what I mean?
R22, they're buying back too.
Yeah, this stuff isn't cheap. Hey, John, what's R22 going for now for about 30-pound bottles? Have you bought it recently?
3 months ago it was $700.
Yeah, that's what I heard, right?
It's like $425 now.
It's coming down a little bit now here.
Well, because you can only get what people are turning in, but it has to be 98% pure to get any money back. Otherwise, they don't get it. If you mix it, they have to incinerate it. And if it's a burnout, you got to incinerate it. There's too many other things, but it's real expensive.
Right.
To anybody I know that was venting it, stop.
Right, right.
You know, we try not to do that. We'll reuse it, run it through a filter dryer out, build the dryer in,
Yeah.
put it back in the same system. Like we're not going to resell it to other people, but
Yeah.
but we've switched to when we can to 427A because it's only 150 a jug for 25 pounds, but you lose a little bit of efficiency. So if you're running, let's say, a 23-degree split, you might only get 21 out of it.
Yeah.
And when you're only getting a 20, 18 usually doesn't cut it when it's 150 on the roof. So
No, that's not bad.
yeah.
How about 407? Using that one at all?
The 407.
I gotta sign a disclosure agreement or
It's
something?
actually even cheaper. I haven't
It won't
used
be
it.
on
I know
YouTube, don't worry about it.
Southland is using it.
Yeah, we're using it here. We changed out about 5 of these units to R22.
It's like 125 bucks or something like that. It's cheap.
Yeah. And it's pretty close, you know.
Well, they had the NU22, and then they were selling it. It was 50 jug and they
So far, it's one down, 76. Oh, the gauge? That's 0.
You know who's crushing that, right? DuPont is trying to crush I-Core out of business right now. So they're working with the manufacturer. You don't want to use that shit. It's no good.
From what I understand is that as soon as they found the loophole in the system where now you can get dry kit.
Right, yeah.
How much is it there?
That's a pound at 76.
So they didn't even have half one.
Like 55 million pounds or something like that last year, and then the price went from 160 bucks a jug to 650 a jug. But now it's settled back down around 400, 425 depending on where you go.
That's
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
When he gave you the retank and it was 17.1.
How we doing here?
That was 17.1.
It's almost there.
To that.
Where we at?
15.
We're at
That's
0.
what I'm saying.
Right above
Why
zero.
is it different?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, this is not going to be a fast evolution. Like I said, a cycle to do this whole thing, on average, takes about 45 minutes. And part of the problem is, you know, this unit hasn't been operating. So to make refrigerant flow more efficiently, you want to have a temperature difference. Because remember, which way do things flow? Hot to cold, right? But if everything's all the same temperature, effectively, it makes it more difficult to move it from one place to another. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, there's some tricks we can use, and we'll play with some of that tomorrow after we get the initial steps down tonight, okay? Yeah, well, hot water and stuff like that, heat gun. Yeah, and of course, we fire the unit up, it's been operational, that helps too, you know what I mean? But everything's sitting out here all at the same temperature right now. So it makes it difficult to get the refrigerator to move from one place to another.
And then it flows right in. Put it like you're working at a kitchen or somewhere where there's ice.
Right.
Put that in the bucket. Put ice on top.
Right.
Then shoot right in.
He wants the model number.
Kind of like beer cake. I'm gonna ask Gary
We're
about
talking
that.
about the weight.
See what he thinks
That's so
about
that he
that.
knows how much he started out with.
You know what I mean?
And at the end of the night, when it
Well, that
goes
makes
back in,
sense.
guess
What's
what?
it at?
But what I'm saying is when you weight it on that scale,
It'll take a minute to get that one.
175.
We were at 15.86. Yeah. I don't know either.
It could be his scale, I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know what he's using in there.
Hey,
You mean his reading is different than this one here was?
Well, he wrote down 17.1.
And what was it here?
15.86.
hey Gary.
So you make numbers do anything you want, you know what I mean?
Say if you were to put this tank in bucket of ice before you started this whole process, right? And it was colder, wouldn't it travel much faster into the tank?
Yeah, you get a temperature difference, right?
Right.
Flows from hot to cold, right?
Got that from him. I'm not that smart.
You can also use gravity to help you out too a little bit, right?
Gravity.
Yeah, if you don't have recover you can actually move refrigerant from a bottle by setting it up higher than the unit and have gravity pull it out for you.
Oh, because the gas goes up, right?
Well, the liquid will flow downhill, right? Remember, refrigerant's natural state is liquid, right?
Right.
Now, one thing I want you to notice when he starts pumping this bottle, feel that bottle should be getting warm. Getting warm? How come? Got blow! No. Get out now while you can. Why is that getting warm?
Because the heat is traveling into the tank.
Yeah, but why is it getting warm? That's my question.
Pressure.
Okay, so if pressure goes up,
Temperature goes up.
hand-in-hand relationship, right? We're
Right.
increasing the pressure in the bottle, right? There you go.
Like toilet paper.
Like what?
Like toilet paper. TP. Two words go together.
I didn't quite get the connection, but I did.
Toilet paper, and temperature and pressure.
How much we got so far? Yeah, I hear you now.
It's 1.82.
Once we get to the cutoff point, I want to write down how much we moved so that we remember. Now we're gonna we're going to be taking a break here, and you know, if we don't write this down, we'll forget.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
I know I will, at least.
Yeah, I will.
Because I'm looking at 5 different units, okay?
Yeah.
All right, anybody got any questions? Come on. No questions?
Not yet.
Nobody? You don't have any questions? What?
You need a license? Yes.
You think the unit needs insurance?
I have a license, yes. You don't. It's like learner's permit time for you right now, yes? Right? So when did you have a license? I got a license to kill. Where are we at? We have 10 yet?
Yeah, right there. Like 9.
How much we got in there?
That's 1.81. 1.82.
There's nothing in this thing, man. Like I said, I think one of these they didn't finish this morning. So we're going to have to add some gas this one. Okay, we got 10 over there?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and close the manifold gauges.
Manifold gauges.
Shut down recovery unit. Okay, close the recovery tank. I think we're going to stop here because we're not going to go any further.
Minus 10.
Okay, everybody see that? No. Okay, check the gauge out. We're at minus 10 inches of mercury. That's HG, right?
Right.
Once you get down to 10 inches,
Oh, okay.
go ahead. Close the manifold gauges. Turn the pump off. Close recovery tank. If you leave it open, the gas is going to start migrating again on you, okay?
Vincent can't see, watch
We
out.
want to keep it in the bottle, okay? All right, any questions here so far?
No, sir.
All right, we're not going to have time to go any further right now, so we'll go ahead and take the dinner break now. We'll come back at 7, and we'll do the next part, which is the evacuation, okay? So who's sticking around the equipment? Who's my volunteer? Who's staying? You staying with the equipment, right? Okay.